Hey everyone, this is Dan Sokolow of 52 Framer, and this is my behind-the-scenes screencast of the editing that I went through for week 2, black and white. I'm switching over to Lightroom here, and these are 3 examples of photos I took this week that I'm going to see what I can do in Lightroom to edit them and make them presentable for the black and white week. Now, I'm not the world's best editor, but let's see what we can do. So I'm choosing the clock, and I'm going up to the Develop tab. And what you'll see over here on the left is a preview screen. And if I mouse over some of these presets that Lightroom's got in here, I can see some of the options that they've already built in and maybe save myself a little bit of work. So I've tried a couple of these, and I'm going to try this B&W Look 1, and it's not too bad, and I kind of like the way it looks, but I'm not so sure. So I can always just hit the revert button here over on the right and take it back to where it was that I started from, and then go back and try again if I don't like what I have. I'm going to try here as well with this flower image that I took. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to choose one of these, and what I found with using their presets is that I wasn't really happy with what happened in the black and white. It just wasn't presenting what I wanted. So this is one of the ways that I can really save time here, is just by rejecting something if it's just not going to work. So I ended up finally selecting this shot of the cashews that I took. And one of the things that you can do is go through this and do this all manually. So the first thing that I did is to just go over to the control panel here, and I've just shifted it directly to black and white. And that, of course, is the first step I need. Now I can play with the white balance by adjusting to some different settings that they have based on what it would look under different lighting conditions, and try some of these flash or shade or something else. So these differences may be kind of subtle, but it'll give you a chance to just see what you like. You can also just use the sliders down below and just really go as fine-tuned as you want with this. Check the contrast, check the exposure. You can work in the highlights if you'd like, shadows, anything else that you want to adjust manually, you can go ahead and do until you get something that you like. Now, if you get to a look, once you've done all of your adjustments on here that you really like, one of the nice things about this is I can go back up to the Develop tab and actually save this as my own preset, so that anytime I want to apply this again later, I can. So we'll just save this one as Dan's preset, and then at any point I want, I'll be able to apply this to other photographs as I choose. So what I actually ended up deciding with this particular image is to use one of the Lightroom presets that was in place. Again, I just tried each of them just to kind of see where I was going to end up. And again, I think it was the B&W Look 1 is the one that I was happiest with. So I just went ahead and applied it to the image. And now I'm going to open this up in Photoshop and do just a little more editing within there. Fortunately, I have Photoshop. The only thing I ended up doing with this was adjusting the levels ever so slightly. I wanted to sort of balance that histogram out a little bit, so I ended up taking the lights down a little bit. I ended up shifting over the midtones a touch, and then adjusting the darks a little bit as well. Again, overall, I was happy with Lightroom's presets, and so I decided not to kind of overdo this. Again, my editing skills are a little bit limited in Photoshop, and I didn't want to drive myself crazy or try and get beyond what I'm really capable of doing. So again, once I was happy with the overall look of this, the next step was to go ahead and get it ready for 52 frames. I have a preset here to resize the image so that it is the required 2048 pixels on the widest side. I left most of the other things alone because, again, I was happy with the overall production. And the final step is just to export out. Again, I just basically left all the settings and the quality where it was. The file size was pretty minimal, so I was pretty happy with where things were. Give it the official preferred 52 frames identification here, which is to put your name in it as well as putting the week in so that we know what it's referring to, and certainly this helped me find it later when I'm trying to upload. And that is that. I have my finished photo. So I hope this tutorial was helpful, and if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. Thanks.